Hi and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a very simple crochet fridge. It's going to have 2 baskets on the bottom, 2 shelves, just the one door, and it's very beginner friendly, so without further ado, let's get started. So here's everything you're going to need for this project. 2 different colored yarns, one for the inside of the fridge and one for the outside of the fridge, a set of scissors, some hard cardboard, tapestry needles, stitch markers, measuring for your cardboard, and of course your crochet hook. The cardboard that I got, it's just this hard cardboard. I got it from just some packaging of something I had bought. You can kind of get it wherever you need to. You don't have to use cardboard, you can use plastic too as well. So this is how we're going to be cutting our cardboard. Your measurements will be different from mine depending on how big you want to make your fridge. I was making mine small for my daughter. But you're going to need a door, the back, which are going to be the same size, 2 shelves, which will be the same size, the sides of the fridge will be the same size. The 2 baskets are optional if you want those. And then you need the top and the bottom, which are going to be similar to the same size of the shelves. I will go ahead at the end of the video and put the measurements that I used, but like I said, yours could be different from mine. It all depends on how big you want to make this. So we're going to start with the back of the fridge right here. We need our crochet hook and one of our colors, just like this. I'm going to show you how to do a, there we go. Show you one more time. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to chain for the width of the bottom of this cardboard right here. And your chain is going to be different from mine depending on the measurements that you choose. A little too short, so I'll make it longer. And then whenever you find what you want, you're going to chain one more for the length that you want. So I have this right here, so I'm going to chain one more. And we're going to single crochet all the way across. And we're going to do this building all the way up to the top of the fridge. You don't need to make it completely to the top of where this cardboard ends because we are going to want the stitching to be slightly tight when we put the cardboard in. If it's too loose, it's going to make the shelves on the inside move around too much. So we need our crocheting to be slightly taut with the cardboard inside of it. And we're going to do this 4 times, 2 in one color and 2 in the other color, so that we have it for the door as well as the back of the fridge. Now that I have a few rows in, I'm just going to show that where it reaches on the ends of both of these. And like I said, we are going to continue to crochet across all the way until we reach the top of up here, and just make sure it is nice and tight. Don't mind the rock, my daughter wanted to share, but as you can see, we have finished one side with the color that we needed, and it goes all the way across just like this. And I'm showing how I can stretch it upwards to make sure that it's going to be tight when I sew them together. Now we're going to need our scissors and our tapestry needle, and we have our colors, the two red that I'm using for the outside of my fridge and the blue that I am using for the inside of my fridge. And we are going to pair them together, a red and a blue and a red and a blue, just like this. And we're going to stitch around, leaving one side open for us to put in the cardboard. So this is what it looks like with the three sides stitched. I have it open right here for the cardboard, which I'm going to put in. I'm just going to show you. It is stretchy, so I'm able to stretch my crochet work right up here to stretch it on. We do want it to be, like I said, a little bit taut so that when we sew everything inside, it's not moving around too much because it's too loose. So we get the cardboard in here, and you'll see that I have space, and I'm just going to pull it just like this. And then we will stitch the top closed. Now that we have the door and the back of the fridge done, just like this, we are going to start working on the sides of the fridge. And we're going to do it the same way with what we're going to be making for 2 red and 2 blue, or whatever colors you've chosen. And just like before, we're going to single crochet all the way up like we had done for the back of the fridge and the door. So just like this, I'm going to chain, and your chains will be different from mine depending on how big you want to make your fridge. Just like this, and we're going to do it all the way up the same exact way. So here are mine, just like before, 2 blue, 2 red. Pair the blue with the red. And just like before, we are going to sew the 3 sides, leaving the one side open to slide in our cardboard. Okay, sides are done. You can see that it's nice and taut. You can actually see the cardboard under there. And now we're going to work on the top and bottom, just like before. We're going to do it in the 2 colors with the red and the blue. The only difference is we are doing it the long way across where it is wide rather than doing it the skinnier side. With the top and bottom done, we're going to be working on our shelves, and the shelves are going to be all one color, and it's going to be whatever color you chose for the inside of your fridge. This part is optional. If you want to make the baskets, I'm going to show you how I've done it. Just like with the shelves, you're going to do it in the one color that's going on the inside of your fridge, and you're going to match it up to your cardboard or whatever your insert is. And instead of sewing, we are going to crochet all around. I will show you how to do that. So I am only going to build up mine 4 rows up because I don't want them to be that big. If you want them to be taller, go ahead and continue up the rows until you get to where you want it to be. Then go ahead and cut after you do a slip stitch at the end to bring together. And this isn't going to be the way we're going to turn this inside out to help the wall stand up a bit more. And there is our basket, and then we are going to use our tapestry needle to weave in this end. Now that we have all of our pieces, we have our front and back right here. We have our sides, shelves, and top and bottom. I'm going to show you how we're going to put this all together. We're going to actually start with our sides just like these and our shelves. So we're going to get our back that we're going to use, and we're going to line up where we want our shelves to be on our fridge. And with our side panel right here that's going to go on the side of the fridge, we are going to line up where we want it. And we're going to need 4 stitch markers for this part. So line up where you want this, and then using your stitch markers, you will mark on the side where you want your shelves to be. Okay, once you have them lined up and you know exactly where you want them, you're going to get some thread, the same color as the inside of your fridge. You need your scissors, of course, and then your tapestry needle to sew in these shelves. This is actually going to be the hardest part of the whole thing, just because getting these sewn on is just awkward, as you will see. Once you have your shelves sewn on, we're going to now sew on the back of the fridge. So just from one side, we're going to line them up together and just across, sew all the way down, top to bottom. And just make sure it's lined up on both sides, and we're just going to do both sides just like this. So I've just taken the end of my tail and knotted to the top. Make sure you have a very long tail, enough that you could sew both sides. And once this side is done, I will show you how we're going to reach the other side to continue on with the same thread. Okay, now that I've reached the bottom, I'm just going to knot the bottom right here with this thread. And I have enough that I'm going to be able to do the other side of my fridge, and how I'm going to get there is just by going behind, going through this thread just on top of the cardboard that's on the outside, and I'm just going to weave my needle all the way to the other end until I reach the other side, and then continue like I had done with this side. Now we are going to get started with the top and bottom of our fridge. We're just going to line them up just like this, and then we will sew them on. This was surprisingly the easiest part. I did that one. I'm going to show you how to do this one right here. Same way, we're going to use the same outside thread, whatever you're using for the outside color of your fridge, and we're just going to stitch it together. I'm going to finish knotting this off on the end here, and then luckily enough my tail was long enough that I'm going to continue on with the door to sew this on. If your tail is long enough, just go ahead and start another strand, but if it is, go ahead and continue on with the door, and we're just going to sew this on like we did everything else, but we are only going to sew the one side. So now we have on our door, you can choose which side you want it to be on, just top or bottom, however you want it to be, just like this. And here are our baskets, we can put them right inside, just like that. And now we are going to get started on the door handle. This is just so you can open and close your fridge. You can do this in either color that you want. I'm doing it in blue just to give it a little bit more of a pop against the door itself, and so it matches the inside. You can make yours as thin or as wide as you want. I'm making mine a bit wider, but like I said, yours is going to vary, and we are just going to make this as long as you want it to be. So here is my handle compared to my door. When we put it on, we're going to want there to be a little bit of a hump just like this so we can get our fingers in there, and we're just going to sew the top and the bottom on. I left myself long enough tails so that I'm just going to use the tail of what was left over from my crochet work to sew these on. And there you have it, your own little crochet fridge. Go ahead and leave comments down below of what food you would like me to make to put inside the fridge, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day!